You can't get the job you want without doing well in your interview. Job Talk spoke to employees in New York City to find out how they handle the interview process. First, we wanted to find out the most important things people do to prepare for an interview.
Sure, you want to research the employer, kind of get up to speed on current events, sort of things like that, especially in the finance world if it's a finance interview. You also just kind of want to get your story straight, be able to walk through your resume, pretty, in a pretty concise manner.
Yeah, I research the salary. I also research the company. When I go on an interview, you want to know what the company's all about. You want to know who you want to work for.
Some important things that I do when I'm preparing for a job interview is visiting the website of the job, learning some logistics about the company that I'm going to apply for. I just go over in my head some of the basic interview questions that most companies ask and figure out what the best way to answer them is and kind of rehearse them beforehand.
I definitely pick out my outfit. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I do. I always pick out what I'm wearing so that I can express exactly what I want to express in the job interview, like a power suit or a certain color, that kind of thing. I also do research on the company, definitely Google it. Find out, who I might be talking to. If I happen to know their name, I'll Google them as well.
What kind of information are you looking to get out of an interview?
The kind of information I'm looking to get when I go to a job interview are things that are going to kind of benefit me in the long run. What does the company have to offer me, and am I valid to that company?
Well, I'd want to learn about where the company is kind of right now, what their future goals are, what's the vision for the company, and how do I fit into that?
When I go for a job interview, I try to seek out information about the kinds of assignments that I would receive, what the kind of the firm's culture is like, what the people there are like kind of on a personal level.
Once the interview is over, do you write a thank you note?
Yes, I do. I always write a thank you note, especially if it's something that I'm really interested in. I definitely write it because I want to be remembered.
I don't really like the email route because I think it's more personal if you write a small thank you card, like a letter, handwritten. It's always, the personal touch is always much nicer, I think.
It's definitely the customary thing to do nowadays, and it shows that, again, hey, I'm interested. And even if there isn't any, even if you're not really in a position to get that job at that time, they'll keep you in mind for future positions.
And finally, if you don't get the job you applied for, do you contact the company to find out why?
If I didn't get a job after an interview, I would definitely contact the company just to wonder why for future interviews and to see how I could improve my interview skills.
If I didn't get an offer, which has happened to me several times, I usually just pretend that the firm doesn't exist and move on.
I have in previous experience, but also I know that there's people that I've interviewed for positions within our firm right now that I've turned down at the time, but that I go back to 6 months later. And I'm actually in the process of doing that right now.
One of my closer friends did that, and I thought it was really funny, but he contacted the company, wanted to know why he wasn't hired, and in the end, they kind of reconsidered him and he ended up getting the job, which was really bizarre, but I've never thought to actually contact the company and find out why. I guess I just figured if they weren't interested, they weren't interested.